In one of our last videos, we took Willard here, we put a bigger turbo on it, making 50 pounds of boost, took it for a test drive, and blew the intercooler boot straight off. So today, we're going over the install process for our power-driven diesel boot kit and go over why it is so much better than the factory pieces and why your hot rod needs them. We recently installed this 67-9 and it makes about 50 pounds of boost on this thing. So in the last test drive, we actually blew the boot off the intercooler. It did not rip the boot did not fail, but it slid off. And I know at that 50 pounds of boost level, it is really hard to get these boots to actually stay on the intercooler. You can tighten the crap out of those clamps and they'll stay on for a while, but this is Todd's tow truck that he wants to be able to tow with, and we're towing at 38 pounds. That's a lot of heat in those boots. So we're just gonna go ahead and upgrade to our power-driven boots. Not only are they much thicker, much stronger, superior material, but because they're so thick, they grab onto the different tubes and intercooler better, to where blowing them off is basically a thing of the past. I mean, these same boots that we run up to 100 pounds of boost, no problem. So that's what we're gonna be putting on this thing. It sucks. When you're towing a trailer up a grade, you blow a boot, now you got 200 horsepower you're trying to use to figure out a good, safe place to pull off. It's not good. So that's why we're gonna go ahead and throw these guys on there. To start the install off, we're gonna go ahead and remove this whole air filter assembly. It just makes it way easier. Let's get things out of the way. Take that, there. Then this will be, for us, it's a 5/16, which is actually the same as factory as well. Go. So now we're just going to go ahead and remove the boot clamps down there. They are 7/16 factory. So go ahead and loosen up all the clamps. That. There. And then the other two are generally easier to get from the bottom. That's that 45 boot down there. And then we can leave that one because we'll just pull that whole tube out as one. Now we're just going to pull the whole tube assembly out. Be mindful there is an O-ring right here, just so you don't lose it while you take it apart. So just like that. There you go. Whole thing came out as one. Now we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to go ahead and remove the two 7/16 nuts for the clamps. Just like that. Loosen them up. Just there you go. So now we're going to try to pry that boot out of there. If it gives us a problem, we can just remove the intake horn, pop it up. That makes everything really easy. But generally, you can kind of pivot it all in and out without having to break the seal on your intake horn. Just like that. So here we got the factory tubes and boots. The factory material is actually pretty good, but they made it very, very thin. You can get some aftermarket boots which are thicker and they seem stiffer, but the material is a polyester blend, so it gets very brittle with heat. We went with so factory's 4-layer, we went with a 5-layer aramid fiber, so not only is it good with heat, but we actually got an extra layer there than factory. Why 5? Because it's better than 4. So we got a solid unit there. I mean, these are the same boots that we are running in all of our trucks. I have mine at 120 pounds of boost. It's been doing it for years. Todd and Will have both pushed these guys to 150 pounds of boost, like going down the track for however many seconds at a time, towing grades. Todd tows his trailer at 60 pounds of boost for minutes going up hills. We really have had awesome luck with these boots. I'm super happy with them. But this is the works. We got on our 2nd gen kit, we got our two 3x3 by 4 1/4 boots. And then if you look, the factory boots are actually a little bit different, factory driver side to passenger side. So you get 2 different boots from us as well, both the driver and the passenger. If you've taken them out of their wrapping and you can't tell the difference, you can put them next to each other like that. This shorter one is your driver's side. The longer one is your passenger side, so that makes it just a little bit easier there. Also, we're using our heavy duty clamps here. What's nice about them is they have a big old spring on them, so they have constant tension. As the boot gets hot, things start moving. That spring will help keep the clamp tight so you don't blow your boot. And what's nice about them is they have a bunch of thread because of this nut design, so that way you don't strip out the threads nearly as fast or as easy, so they can really take some torque before they give you a problem. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna start swapping the boots over, starting off with the passenger side pipe. We've got our straight boot here, and we've got that longer passenger 45 boot there. And if you guys lose track, you're doing your install and you forget which way this tube goes, you can see the 45 in the tube is closer to the turbo side or the straight boot side. So that helps you kind of keep track of it all. Also, you can see where that boot actually blew off on us. And yeah, absolutely, the boot just slid out from under the clamp. You can see someone's had a problem with this in the past. They upgraded these clamps. This is kind of what your factory clamps look like without any kind of spring. Someone has upgraded the ones on the hot side of this guy, which is good. Like that, the hot side's where you have problems, but that factory boot just kind of slid out of there. That's something great about our boots because they are so thick, they hold onto that clamp a lot better and really help prevent this problem. And then we've got the driver's side tube here. Again, that's your shorter boot on this one, and then the straight boot, and it's straight, the whole tube. So it's really straightforward. Put the boots on both ends and we can slide it back in. First off, we're gonna go ahead and swap the boots on your passenger side, your hot side tube. We've got our 45, we got our straight. We'll start pulling the clamps off. There we go. And then I like to take just a wet rag, clean both the connection and the boot. Make sure there's no oil on it at all. Then we'll go ahead and slide the clamp on the boot. There we go. Something like that. And then we'll do the next one. You can tell it got pretty hot because it's all stuck on there. Pretty good. We'll again clean the boot off a little bit. Just like that. And since we just forgot the clamp, we'll put it on now. Something pretty close to that. We're gonna leave those clamps loose. That way we can kind of clock everything, move it around. We might end up flipping the clamps around if they fit a little bit better one way or the other, but there we go. Well, I guess we'll throw this guy on there just so it's all together. That's our complete unit. That's ready for the truck. And now we got the driver's side tube. This one's really easy because it's a straight tube. So we'll go ahead and start removing the clamps and boots off this thing. That. And this guy will probably go like that, but we'll see how it fits. There you go. Boots are swapped over. We're ready to slap these in the truck. So now we got the boots on our tube here. So now we're just gonna go ahead and throw it in. Just kind of snake it on down there. Same way as it came out. We got all our clamps on there so we didn't forget any. We'll probably have to go down there and get that boot on there a little bit better. So now I'll have to wrestle it from the bottom. So we got the boot on the intercooler on. I like to snug that up a little bit just so it can't move, so we can wrestle all the tubes and boots up top without it falling back off. So we're gonna go ahead and snug that down. All the factory clamps were 7/16. Now our clamps are 1/2 inch. So we need to swap to that socket and go ahead and snug her down. There we go. Okay, we've kind of got that pointed off kind of where it needs to go. So we're gonna go ahead and slide that guy in there. Pop them in, just kind of like that. It's pretty good. Just clock it a little bit more, just like that. There we go. Just like that. Then we'll throw the clamp on it with a nut and start tightening up all the boot clamps. So now that we got everything all kind of positioned and clocked the way we like it, all you have to do now is just go around, tighten up clamps. I'll start with the V-band just because that will kick it off a little bit. And remember that O-ring that was in there. I did make sure that that was in there before I went on. And on them, I go until the coil spring binds up. Just kind of tells me it's real nice. Just like that. With that fender being really close to the boot, especially in factory boots where they swell so much, it's good to just take the fender and just bend it away a little bit just so that lip doesn't cut the side of the boot. It's not something you really generally have to do unless you're running a lot of boost, but if you are, that's not a bad idea to do. So now we're going to do the driver's side. This one can be a little bit trickier because we're not removing the intake horn. You can. It's 5 M10 nuts. Simple, super simple to do, but generally when you do that, you might have to replace the gasket and stuff, so I just try to avoid it so I just know I'm not causing a possible problem there. We're going to take the 3.5-inch clamp. We're going to slide it onto the intercooler itself just so we're not fighting with it staying on. We're going to just feed that tube down. So on this guy, we're going to take this clamp off and we'll deal with it later. So you kind of just like push it down. Get it going, get it started, and it pops right into place. It's really not bad. There you go. And then when you do the clamps, I like to leave a little bit of boot on the outside of the clamp. That lets the clamp kind of dig into the center, and so it really helps prevent it from sliding off in the future. So you get your washer, your spring, your other washer in the nut. Just gonna snug that one down. Looks like this tube can move upwards just a little bit. Like, there we go. Again, try to get a little bit of boot below the clamp. And go until the spring coil binds. Like that. Like that. And that's super, super tight. I mean, that'll hold 100 pounds of boost right there. So now we're gonna go ahead and just mess with the bottom boot, get the clamps on it, get it squared away, and we're done. And then that actually wasn't the last step. Last step, we just need to go ahead and put our air filter system back in place. Just like that. There we go. This thing is all done up, ready to be a ripper again. So there you go, we are done. Now, once you get a couple heat cycles through it, it is a good idea to just go around, check all those clamps, make sure we're still coil bound, but that's it. You're good for miles to come. If you guys need products like this or other ones, go head over to powerdriven.com. We'll get you sorted. If you have questions, feel free to leave them in the comments or hit up our sales team.